Sam White is 23. She got pregnant back in May and was supposed to get an abortion the day the Supreme Court of the United States overturned Roe v. Wade.
My friend was going to drive me. She showed up at my place. We had all of my stuff ready to go. And I got a notification on my phone from the AP News saying that Roe was overturned. Right after that, I got a call from Planned Parenthood, and they told me that they were unable to see me. Effectively, abortion in Wisconsin was immediately illegal. I was upset about the impact that it had on the country, but also the impact that it had on me as an individual.
Working evenings as a waitress to pay for her studies, White says she would not have been able to raise a child on her own. Despite her struggles, she was able to make it to neighboring Minnesota in time to get an abortion.
It was really, really hard for me, but at the same time, I am, a college student. I have an education, I have a job, I have a car, and so I still am privileged. It was an awful situation, but I couldn't imagine going through it without some of those privileges. I would say that out of all of the issues our country is facing, for me personally, women's rights is number one right now.
Under an 1849 state law which is currently being challenged in court, it is a felony to provide an abortion except when the mother's life is at risk, with no exceptions for rape or incest. A rollback of women's rights that has fired up activists ahead of the November 8 midterms.
Hi, are you Laura?
Yes.
Hi, Laura. I'm Joella. I'm with Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. So we're just out talking to neighbors today to see how folks are feeling after the recent Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe versus Wade. There's some pathways to restoring legal abortion services in Wisconsin.
I'm afraid, but it makes me hopeful to know that there are people willing to fight for what we all deserve.
Planned Parenthood was aiming to spend a record $50 million to elect abortion rights supporters across the country.
There are politicians who would like to see that codified, really keep that as the law of the land in the state of Wisconsin. And so it's important from our standpoint that we elect reproductive champions who will fight to restore that access and do what they can at the legislative and judicial levels to restore access to that essential health care.
Over the summer, a wave of female registration saw new female voters in Wisconsin outnumber men by 17 points, with Democrats hinging their hopes on making abortion the central issue of the midterms.